Hey guys, Dougie at the Hardwood historic downtown Cuero, Texas, and welcome to our 20th virtual happy hour. It's pretty crazy to think that we've been doing this for over 20 weeks, so took a 2-week break in the mid, and how cool is that? And thank you so much for sticking with us this entire time. And to celebrate the 20th, the theme is Let's Catch a Buzz. So, got a lot going on. I don't know if y'all watched the video I posted. A lot of things happening, so to celebrate new beginnings and things changing and these bittersweet moments, we're going to celebrate the Hardwood, and we're going to celebrate the menu that I worked on for over the past 2.5 years. It's actually been working. I've been doing the Hardwood for almost 5 years. So just doing private parties and working on this menu and my whole passion project. So forgive me if I start getting a little emotional talking about it, but we're going to have a good time. And yeah, we're just going to go over the classics, the ones that we all fell in love with together, and got Morgan, aka Morgan the Grouch, and the lovely Chelsea here to celebrate this virtual happy hour and the Hardwood again. I would so happy to have you guys here, and it's going to be a great time. So let's just get right into it. I think the best way to start off is for us to have a round of daiquiris. Anybody into that?
Suits me just fine.
Indeed. So, if everybody knows how much I love the daiquiri, it's not just me. It's like a bartender's handshake. It's like really important to the culture of bartending. And sorry if I keep on going back away from the mic. I hope it's picking everything up pretty good. Cool. So, the whole entire idea of the daiquiri and the reason it's so respected in the bars is 3 simple ingredients. It's going to be sugar, freshly squeezed lime juice, and it's going to have a rum component, of course, because that is crucial for a daiquiri. And it's going to be, the other component is going to be ice or water in some way, form, or fashion, shaken. So it's so simple. It seems so easy to make, but the thing is, with those 3 ingredients, you can do anything, really. You can create any kind of profile for any guest. But the thing is, you can also make a really bad drink. So you learn a lot about a bartender and what kind of skills they can do with the minimal ingredients. And that's why we really take a tremendous amount of pride in our daiquiri. And what other better way to have a daiquiri than one of my favorite rums? I say we just go right into Paranubes. Maybe I'll split it with something a little bit, but
Yeah, straight Paranubes. That's
too early?
I'm not saying not yet, or not at all, just not yet.
Probitas.
There you go.
This is my favorite daiquiri rum. This is what we'll do. We'll do a Probitas. Man. Probitas is a Barbadian rum, or actually I think it's Barbadian blended with Jamaican rum. It's from Foursquare Distillery. It's pretty much, if you look at the labels, things like that, it's not these big, I don't want to say hokey, but these big, bold labels that you see in a lot of American bars and things like that. The reason is it's more like a local style rum. It's a very old way of drinking rum. If we took a time machine back to the early 1800s, maybe the mid-century, or even early 1900s, these kind of rums we would have been drinking. So there's a lot of depth, a lot of fattiness, a lot of natural sweetness coming from the rum, but not in like a really crazy way. But it's also going to have some really nice esters as well, which if you listen to my podcast, Spirits Guy with Doug Blank, we go over esters and what they are, and essentially it's an acid that attaches to alcohol, which creates all that funk. A lot of people think that esters create hangovers. That's why it's always, you see like 6 times distilled vodka, and they think that's like the best alcohol on the planet because you won't get hangovers. But I assure you, if you drink enough alcohol, what it is doing is leaching all of the water out of your body, hence your rain is turned into a brazen, but it's turned to a raisin, and that's where your hangovers come from. But I'm not a scientist. I'm just a bartender. What you're going to need is your shakers. Hey!
Both are equally important.
Indeed. I mean, there's like probably a part of this, bartenders, I guess, used to be doctors. That's simple syrup. You know how I know? Because it smells like nothing. So the reason we're going to use simple syrup in this one is because we want to showcase
Science.
this. What'd you say?
Science.
Indeed. It's going to be, we want to make sure that we're showcasing this rum, so we're not going to use a pronounced simple syrup or sugar syrup like a Demerara or anything, because we want to make sure we're letting this rum and, of course, the other 3 components shine through. If we had a lesser of a rum, like one that we weren't be so not proud of, like I shouldn't say that way, I mean, all rum, I guess it takes a lot of effort to make. But a spirit that we just weren't too excited to have, we would probably change up the sugars and maybe the citruses and things like that to create a daiquiri that would be more enjoyable. So for this, you're going to do 3/4 ounces of your simple syrup. This is a 1-to-1 ratio of refined sugar to water. And since there's going to be 3 of us, that is going to be 1.5 ounces plus another 0.75. So whatever that equals. 225.
I knew I'd keep her around for a reason.
I know, dude. I'm like, somebody can tell me. I don't know if y'all all gathered. If y'all been watching the past 20 episodes of this, you might know that I am not what we would refer to, me and Maddie Malort would refer to as a math doctor. So, same as your freshly squeezed lime juice. Freshly squeezed, double strained, use it in a baking sieve and then a fine mesh strainer. Maybe something like this is what you consider a fine mesh strainer. And then that's getting all the pulp and all the seeds, unwanted seeds and stuff out. Woo! That candle is perfumed. But we got to keep it going. No, maybe this one is. One of these candles has smells like my grandma, which is nice. So same measure. So we're going to do 225. Same, but if you're just making one for yourself, say 0.75 ounces. Beautiful. And then the storied Probitas. 6 ounces. Typically, you would want to make only a maximum of 2 drinks per shaker, or get like a bigger shaker. But, whatever. Ooh, some coops. Hello. Oh, you know what? I'm going to shake it first. Silly Douglas. All right, so over the ice, shake like nobody's watching for about 10 to 15 seconds, considering there's so much liquor going on. We need to get a good dilution going on. Jeez Louise, it's so cold. Oh, wow. Did I put pineapple on there? This thing's frothy as heck. Double strain to your small tin so make less of a mess. Like caramba. Now you get your chilled coops. Ooh, these are cold too. Everything's so cold. All right. Just divvy them up. Should have some good wash lines on all these. Look at that. Those are some wash lines, considering I've only been making daiquiris only once a week now instead of every day. But anyways. So, oh yeah, so typically you would put like a lime wheel or something on here, but nah. I don't like garnishes hitting my lips and things like that, so I don't garnish. Maybe like a lemon peel, like just freshly squeezed over there, whatever. But so to start off the 20th virtual happy hour and to celebrate you guys watching this and to celebrate the Hardwood, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Right? It's so the rum that I'm talking about, again, we just complimented it so much. That freshly squeezed lime juice, it's like, everybody knows what lime juice tastes like. You know, like a cherry limeade, essentially, but without the cherry and without the, well, maybe some aid. We have sugar in there. So when I say fatty and viscous and chewy, I know it sounds really weird to talk about drinks that way, but if you talk about rum and the content and what's actually happening on your palate, and it's like the way it washes over and the textures that you're developing and it creates, this is what is so important about the daiquiri. It's just, it's so lush and full and bright and sharp. Sharp in the bar world actually means bitter, and this does have bitter from a little bit of the rum for sure, and definitely the lime. But the lime, the pH levels of the lime really just does like a really good job of like just like tarting it up to where it's just like helps that like balance fall over to where it just starts over again. And what's pulling it around is all that sugar. Sugar is like glue, and it just keeps it going, and it keeps it addictive. Bye-bye. So, oh God. This is bittersweet, for sure. If you're wondering about the Hardwood, the situation, the video, I hope, covered all the bases for the most part, but what it really boils down to is this pandemic just like wiped it out of the bar. There's just nothing to save us. The loans weren't awarded. The grants, there's no grant work for guys like us. And I understand. Tooth and nail was working as hard as I could, and it's got to the point that it just felt like every time we were taking a step forward, some people were just making sure that we had to take 5 steps back. So we did have a tremendous amount of help in certain parts to reopen, which we did. The second shutdown really did it to us, and me and some employees did have a scare, and we had to get tested, and we had to quarantine for 2 weeks, and that did a big part of it too. I did get sick, but they said it was a false negative, or they said it could have possibly been a false negative because I had all the symptoms. But I'm good now. Wearing my mask everywhere, as you should be too. And through this whole entire episode, this is probably going to last longer than an hour because there's so many people I have to thank, so many things I want to talk about. I'm sure you guys have so many questions that I hope I can answer for you during this virtual happy hour. But please understand that I hope I didn't let anybody down. I was trying my best to keep it going. This doesn't mean the Hardwood is about to disappear. I am in a fortunate situation to where I am part owner of these buildings. I own the business, so I am going to be working my butt off to make sure that this is preserved and stays clean. And so just in case down the road I'm in a better situation to where we can get back to rocking and rolling, we will. But I only will come back if it's stronger and better than it was before. I don't know if it would be worth just skimming along the way. And the past 3 years have been pretty tough, so it's going to be, it's a needed change of pace, I guess. But yeah, I'm happy that we get to layer down to fall asleep in these situations, and they're pretty much out of our control with everything going on. And I know a lot of people are wondering why we don't just turn into a restaurant. We just simply don't have all the legitimate equipment to be a full-blown restaurant, and it costs a tremendous amount of money to convert and start a restaurant. So please understand. Anyways, but like I said, you never know. The time could pass, and we'll be back in here just shaking them up again. So, next trick that needs to be made, I would imagine, is the old-fashioned, which is something we all fell in love with. I want to say a big thank you to Brant Kempen and Marina Thomas. They were a huge part of me opening the Hardwood. They essentially were my first consultants, taught me so much about daiquiri, making the daiquiri, and of course the old-fashioned. Brant actually introduced me to this recipe, which became our house old-fashioned because it was so popular, and it's something that I am quite proud of and grateful to have them in my life to show me the ropes around this cocktail. And over the past almost 5 years, it's become, I've made thousands of old fashions. So it's going to be, for a lot of my regulars, Justin, you love the freaking old fashioned. All you guys, I mean, there's so many people that come in here just for old fashioned and get their butts home. Like every Thursday, we're doing $8 old fashions and things like that. Anyways, let's just build one. Justin Parker is who I was talking about. It just like kind of just blew his name. Like, Justin. Let me fill up this wash tub. Hope everybody's enjoying the show. If you're out there. Sorry, I forgot to fill up my wash tub. Got to make sure all my tools are clean. Okie dokie. Don't need no stinking shakers for this one. So this is one of the old. This is like the drink that actually the whole entire expression cocktail became known for. Cocktail just pretty much means a certain amount of ingredients, which is bitter, spirit, a water. I think that's it. I think that's what they really constitute a cocktail. And so bitter, spirit, water. I feel like I'm missing something. But ice is water. But anyways, if anybody knows out there, let me know. Holy crap. Hey, will you go in the back, Chelsea, and see if there's any hand-cut ice in the freezer? I just totally realized we might not have any. And just go ahead and put one on the board right here. Thank you. The third man, woman. We always need one. So, watch you. Hey. So, if y'all watch the virtual happy hour, you know that I have had tremendous amounts of accidents with these shakers. Don't have a dasher on. I mean, with these dashers, don't have a dasher on this one. So we're gonna do it. The first one that we ever did, me and Maddie Malort just like poured a whole entire ball in there, thinking there's dashers. Pretty embarrassing. So we're gonna do about 5 dashes. I don't have a dasher on here. Sorry. It's cooling down in here. Don't you say? Wouldn't you say? So bitters. If you aren't familiar with bitters, imagine like a liqueur with no sugar. That's essentially what it is. So when you make old fashioned, the sugar element. Did I say sugar? I think that's what's missing. A sugar element. So we use refined sugar cubes. Boom, right in there while it's soaking up. We're going to talk a little bit about it. You don't necessarily, there's so many people that have their own versions of an old fashioned. There's really no rules to it. As long as it like follows like the traditional specs, like we were talking about to build a cocktail, I'm pretty sure you can get away with anything. Like one of Morgan's favorite drinks is a Oaxacan old fashioned, which is made with the mezcal. And so the thing is with the sugar element, some people like to use simple syrup, some like to use a different type, like just use syrups in general. I like using the cubes. Thank you so much. So happy that was there. I like using the cubes. Simply because there's a tremendous amount of texture, and it's not the first sip isn't overly sweet. Because you do get somewhat of the sweetness from the bourbon. So we're going to mash this guy up. Let's give it a little one of those. Whew, man. I have to blow this candle out. It's this one. Bourbon. I could have swore I grabbed the old Granddad Bonded out of the other place. Frick! Entertain them, Morgan. I'm going to go grab it.
I'll go get it.
Okay. So Morgan's going to grab the old Granddad Bonded. So old Granddad Bonded is our house selection when it comes to bourbon. And so what we use for our old fashioned, again, this was introduced to me to Brant about 5 years ago. And it is going to... a lot of people like they love bourbon, don't necessarily know what a bourbon is, especially when it comes to bonding a bourbon. That comes from the Bonded and Bond Act, I think of 1865, I believe. It could have been a little bit later than that, excuse me. So essentially people were like taking their bourbon, or taking what they would call bourbon, and was just like terrible liquor that they were just making and dyeing it the color of bourbon and selling it as it was. So the federal government got involved. It was like, hey, we got to make sure we're not killing people and poisoning them. So pretty much what a bottle and bond in America means is that it's exactly what they say it is. Was it right? 1897, 1865, 1897. Excuse me. Don't have my notes. Don't have my show notes on me. Forgive me. So with that said, they want to make sure they're protecting everybody and all this stuff, so they came up with bottle and bond, and it ended up being a good thing for the actual distilleries, because they're proving to their consumer, to their customer, to their guests, thank you, sir, that it was exactly what they say it is. And so this is Old Granddad Bottled and Bond. House selection. And so to be a bourbon in general, it needs to be 51% corn or more in the mash. And then it needs to be aged in brand new charred American oak barrels for the minimum of 4 years. That's pretty much what it means. A lot of people think that it has to be made in Bourbon County, Kentucky. That is not true. Bourbon can be made anywhere in the nation. As long as it's made in America, we consider it bourbon if it follows those rules. To be a bonded bourbon, it has to be 51% corn or more when it comes to the mash. Every grain and distillation has to be all done in one growing season. You can't mix around and everything like that. And then from there, it can be no higher or any lower than 100 proof when it comes to the alcohol content. And then it also has to be aged in brand new charred American oak barrels, and it has to be aged in and stored while it's aging in a federally bonded rick house, which is essentially a warehouse for alcohol, especially whiskeys and bourbons. And then from there, it can only be blended if it is going to be blended with barrels of the same process and same year. So that's what a bonded bottle is. A lot of people proclaim bonded bottles. That's what I met people that they prefer to only drink bonded bottles. That is something I can appreciate just for the craft and the whole entire technicality of it all. There are other people that say bonded bottles just kind of need to, they really just don't have a place like they used to, because there is so much regulation on creating liquor anyways now in the modern day. There's really no need for the Bottled and Bond Act. But it's a tradition. It's meticulous. It's important, and I love Bottled and Bond. But at the same time, there are most every whiskey that's made right doesn't need to have a Bottled and Bond. I'm sure it is a tremendous effort to do that, like when it comes to permitting and getting and the money you'd have to spend to do that. So 2 ounces of this.
Yes. Yes.
Indeed. Morgan would know. 2 ounces of Old Granddad Bottled and Bond, 100 proof. So this is a stout cocktail. And the reason we like using the Old Granddad, because it does have that 100 proof going on. So it's going to have that heat on it. In the Hardwood, we would expect you to be able to handle your liquor. Like, we don't have a cutoff. If we don't know you, chances are you'd only get 3 cocktails because all of our drinks are doubles. But, if you're a grown-up and you can handle yourself, yes, you would have more drinks than that. But here's the thing. This is a very stout drink. And we wanted to make sure that our old-fashioned had a burn to it, because we wanted to make sure people knew that they were drinking a proper old-fashioned. This was inspired by the cocktail that was created at the Pendennis Club in the late 1800s in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's going to be essentially a very old way of drinking. So don't think that you're going to get this and it's going to be like a hot toddy or like a cinnamon whiskey, because I assure you it is nothing like that. We need to spin this ice. Oh, I don't have my little claw thingies. So, usually have some things, but we're not open, so it doesn't matter. So, hand-cut ice. I'm pretty sure I talked to y'all about this Klein Bell ice. This is from a company called Fat Ice out of Austin. And they pretty much just make sure you don't want to use the ice out of your freezer for any cocktails. If you really can't, if you don't know where to go to Specs and get some Fat Ice. They use a Klein Bell machine and just make sure that's highly dense, properly frozen ice. Freeze from the bottom up while it circulates, so it's getting all air molecule and sediment to the top. So you're just getting crystal clear, dense ice. Properly dilute your cocktail. Doesn't bastardize it in any way with any minerals or unwanted chemicals that are in the water curing or the water treatments and things like that. And if you can't get anything like that, please go to your local fast food joint and get one of their bags, like McDonald's. Coca-Cola spends a lot of money to have the product in that McDonald's. So you better be sure that they're going to spend a lot of money to make sure that their ice isn't going to be, that their soda is not going to be ruined by the local water supply for the ice they make. So they have a really great filtration system. I've even heard of some places actually supplying water to these stores just to make sure that it's what the product that these companies want it to be. So I just stirred that about 50 times, 50 times. Probably going to go away with it less than that because it's so warm out. So take your navel orange. You're going to take a swath. These Y peelers are very dangerous. We have all knuckled ourselves with these bad boys. Morgan, have you done it yet?
Oh, yeah. I've shaved a few layers off.
Fingernails, hair in my mouth. Fingernails, gone. Knuckles, gone. Side of your fingers, gone. So be careful. So what you want to do is hold this thing. I'm not a baseball player, but whatever pitch this is. Is that a pitch? I call this one the contusion. What's a contusion anyways?
Like a bump and bruise.
What's a hematoma?
Chelsea, you want to help?
Bruise, but a different kind of part of your body. I think in general.
So this could be a contusion. Thank you. I'm sure Morgan's thinking of other things, but that's fine. That's how Morgan thinks, and I can't help it. I love him anyways.
I'm kind of confused as to what you're blaming me for right now.
I don't even know. So what you want to do is keep your fingers away, and then take your Y peeler And then you're going to pull a swath. Let the peeler do the work. Don't get too crazy. And apparently people have been making fun of me for saying, let the whiskey speak to you. Let the drink tell you what it is. I stand by that. When you have these drinks, let the drink tell you what it is. Let it tell you that it is corny or vanilla-y or oaky. Anyways, you want to take the swath, 6 inches up, 3 inches back. Just give it a quick express. So what's happening is when you do this, all the heavier oils are bitter and they're falling away. All the lighter oils are the fragrant, sweeter oils, and they're going over. We already controlled the bitter. We want to control the bitterness as much as possible because we already added bitters to it. Always, in my opinion, always put your garnish away from the guests so they can see it. And also when they take their first sip, it's not smash them in the face unless you have a straw. And that way, and if you have a bouquet or something like a Mai Tai, which you're going to make in a little bit. So, product placement in a way. Our old fashioned. And Chelsea, this is for you. So please help me with everything going on. And Venmo me at Doug Blank. This one is a little bit different. This is actually, I am actually probably going to need as much help as possible on my move and everything. Funds a little bit depleted, but I have to get to work. I'm starting my new job at the beginning of September and getting back on my feet. So anything helps me right now with my transition. So if you can help me out, I truly appreciate it. If not, I'm just happy that you're watching, and that's all that matters. But at least go to my YouTube channel and like and subscribe our videos. Am I right? So in my Instagram is DougFresh85. So please check that out too. You're already on my Facebook. So yeah. So yeah, I'm going back to Austin. Going to be working on my craft. This is my passion. I'm really focusing on getting my mind to a better place, to where I'm not just like nervous and just worried all the time about the business and stuff like that. And so this is going to be really refreshing, I hope, and for me and for my family and all my friends, and really just create a reimagining for the future. You know, the Hardwood. The Hardwood, it was everything I wanted it to be, but it wasn't necessarily everything the locals wanted it to be, which I do appreciate and I get. So, you know, with the reimagining, probably a happy medium. Again, it's going to be a hot minute before that's ever the case. So, I'm excited. I mean, it's bittersweet. I'm excited, but like, it's been pretty hard walking in this place knowing that this was coming, and just a lot of hardship, and I'm just happy that I have you guys here with me to support me. And I cannot tell you how overwhelming it was to see everybody commenting and showing all their love and support for the Hardwood. It is so humbling, unbelievable, and I just thank every single one of you so much. And I really have no words to describe how much I appreciate y'all, and I love y'all, and I'm going to miss all y'all very much. But, you know, it's not the end, and I'm going to be back, and we're going to keep on doing cool stuff. I mean, we're still going to be doing stuff out of the Hardwood. We're going to be doing probably holiday specials and stuff out of here for our virtual happy hours. The virtual happy hour, when I move it to Austin, is probably going to be based out of wherever I end up staying, and then, which I found a place, but it's going to be based out of my new place. And then, you know, and we're just going to keep the same vibe. It might switch from Fridays to an earlier day in the week so it doesn't conflict with my new schedule. But the virtual happy hour will absolutely keep going. But with that said, we are going to take a little bit of a break to let me get the move done and move on and settle in and, you know, start working at the new place and just start really getting my gears back, get my Keep Austin hippie gears, get them greased and turning again. Gotta get weird. I gotta figure out how to, I gotta get blackout drunk and figure out the bus system again. Oh, I don't even know can you get on a bus right now?
Damn, I have no idea, actually.
I mean, I guess you would have to.
They have to still have public transportation. It's just limits on how many people on the bus.
Why are they like packing planes full now?
Really?
Whatever.
Wow.
I don't know. So one time, my foot was broken. I met this gal, I sent her a DM. No, I DM'd this gal. Worked out. Ended up dating her friend. Yeah. And it was innocent. Nothing crazy. It wasn't like, it was simply just like, hey, nice to meet you for the first time. And then it was like, didn't really hit it off. And her friend and I hit it off. Like, so it wasn't like, oh, hot and heavy. Oh, this is like soap opera. You know, it's no soap opera stuff. So anyways, dated this gal for a bit. I got so busy at my new job and everything that just fell apart. So I just remember she's like, hey, we're watching the Walking Dead season finale down south. I live on the east side, down south at this one bar, and I really hope you really need to come to hang out with my friends or this relationship's just going to fall apart. I'm like, Walking Dead season finale? I'm like, I guess. I didn't watch The Walking Dead. So I was like, all right. So I got in an Uber and I went because I broke my foot. My foot was broken, but it healed a couple of months before that, but it still had some aches and pains. So it ended up being like going to South Austin from east side. I go in there, and her friends are so nice. Like, aren't you excited about The Walking Dead season finale? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And this gal that I was dating just straight up goes, can we go outside and talk? I'm like, sure. And so we go out there. Like, I just showed up, and she sits me down, and she's like, so like, do you not want this to work out? And like, she's like, I just don't think it's gonna, like, you know, if you want to, I'm cool with us making. Like, she was like, hey, look, I want it to work because I really like you and stuff, but if you, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I probably.
Yeah, I've been in some weird situations, but I've never been broken up with over a show.
No, it was more than the show. I was just. It wasn't awful. I was just very forgetful. I wasn't the most present of boyfriend. So
you're being forgetful.
And she is very sweet and beautiful, and she's doing amazing things. She's married and doing her thing now, which is I'm so happy for her. And she's still like, yeah. Anyways, more power to her. I'll never forget. She's like, I'm gonna get you a cab, and I'm like, you're gonna get me a cab? I'm like, I don't need you to give me a cab. And she's like, well, how are you gonna get home? I'm like. I was like, it's actually really nice out. And so I'm like, I'm just going to walk home. She's like, you're going to walk to your house from here? I'm like, yeah, why not? So I started walking, and my foot was like kicking my ass. And so like, it was 10 miles that I walked, but just fine. I mean, I've walked that far plenty of times. And like, I used to hike and stuff all the time. I used to ride my bike 30 miles a day and 50 miles on Saturdays if I could. So it wasn't that daunting, but I was like, holy crap, I just didn't realize I was getting into. And I remember I called my roommate. I'm like, do you need me to come get you? I'm like, no, it's actually really nice out. And like, it was a really beautiful walk all the way. But why am I telling all this?
I have no idea. I was expecting this to like tie into a drink or something.
Oh, no drink. Just the bus.
I will say, never, ever ride a bus at midnight on Halloween when it falls on a Saturday in Philly. Because one lady threatened to throw bleach and lye in someone's face from a baby bottle that she pulled out of her backpack while I was on the bus. I was just like, I'm out. I want off the bus. That's the bus system in any major city.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Philly is an interesting place to say the least.
You know how there's people of Walmart on Facebook?
Yeah.
There's the people of SEPTA, which is the Southeast Pennsylvania Transportation Authority.
Uh-huh.
And it's just people on the subway, the buses, the trains, whatever, just going, are you saying what I'm saying right now?
All right, so let's keep on moving. What do you think? You think I should do a tiki drink before you get back here and do the...
No. Mai Tai.
Oh, yeah, Mai Tai. Actually, I think we should crown it with the Mai Tai. Let's do a Jungle Bird.
That works.
Okay.
Is that the one you made on his birthday?
Yeah.
With the fire?
Yes.
To go with the monster truck cake?
Yes. I'm sweating so much. Okay, so... Campari, one of our favorite rums, Hamilton Black Strap. And that's pretty much it for the alcohol component. So I don't have any Demerara sugar, which is crucial for this drink. This drink, which is crucial for this drink, I don't have it. But we're gonna use a little bit of orgeat, no big deal. So it may, and like the bitter of this is gonna be fine. We're gonna see a sugar element to do that whole entire thing. We always talk about tying everything together. So came from. I believe Malaysia from the mid-70s or whatever. So it's a beautiful cocktail. It's going to be bitter, sweet, chewy. It's going to be viscous. It's going to be nutty. It's going to have these burnt sugars and everything going on. I'm really excited to make it for y'all now. And just so y'all can see it in all of its glory, we should do it in a Collins cup. Collins glass. Isn't that what we decided last time? That was better in the Collins glass when I was doing those videos? I did a whole entire happy hour on this. All right, no, we have a video on our YouTube about the jungle bird. Right?
Sounds right.
Thanks, Morgan.
Hey, if you say it with enough confidence, you're good.
Yeah. So, first thing we're going to need is a sugar element. We're going to use a little bit of orgeat, which is our, we're going to talk about the orgeat when we make the Mai Tai. We're just going to do about a quarter ounce. It's a 2-to-1 syrup, so you don't necessarily need much. And then from there, we're going to use some freshly squeezed lime juice. Do about a half ounce. And then our freshly pressed pineapple juice. I put it in this thing because I couldn't find anything else to put it in. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces of this. Oh gosh. Very thick, quite viscous. 2 ounces. Pineapple. My bad. Gosh dang it. I'm kind of feeling that daiquiri. Is that all I've had? Have I had more drinks?
Nah, just the daiquiri that you kind of just inhaled.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
Don't judge it. It was delicious.
indeed. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to do 3/4 ounces of Campari. Campari is a bitter Amaro, and it's going to be from Italy. And this is a classic. I meant an ounce, apparently. Jesus, Doug, let's get it together. So this is a classic Amaro that you see all over the place. Even you even hear about Campari Week. It's a big thing behind the bars. People like using it as bitterants, replacing bitters with it as well. You might have heard of a very, very, very classic, famous cocktail called the Negroni, which there is an amazing podcast by Bar None called Bittersweet is the episode, and it is about the Negroni, and Campari is a huge part of that conversation. So go check that out when you get some time. But yeah, it's like something you just find in a lot of classic cocktails, a lot of aperitif, and then you just sip on it before a meal, and you can even just like cut it with a little bit of soda water and just have a nice spritzer. So it has a tremendous amount of application for sure. And then also, if you don't want it like this, there's all different brands of Amaro, and just try them all out. Different herbal blends. So this is one of my favorite rums. We always talk about it. This is Jamaican Pot Still Black. This is going to be a very, very black rum. And so I'll pour it high so maybe y'all can see it. So, I mean, it is black. And that pretty much, all that color doesn't come, a lot of people get that confused with age from a barrel. Not the case whatsoever. It actually comes from something called dunder. And we had talked about earlier about esters in rum connecting to the alcohol and creating all these funky tones and things like that, especially in Jamaican style rums. This is pretty much them taking dunder from the muck pits and the dunder, and pretty much is leftover fermentation from the pot stills, the molasses, essentially after it's been fermented. They add it back. It has all these wonderful, like complex flavors. They're pronounced, they're full, they're nutty, they're like chocolatey, they're caramel, like burnt sugars, buttery mouthfeels. So it's quite a rewarding experience. And especially if you're not a rum fan, this is something I assure you probably never had before. You probably think that it would be like a spice rum. No. It is not anything like that. It is like a Jamaican black pot still rum. You can drink it neat. We have a cocktail that we came up with called From the Depths, and it's essentially a whiskey Coke with that. Or rum and Coke with this. And a little bit of chocolate liqueur. All right, so let's take this hot mess and let's get it freaking whipping. Some Pebble Ice. We have an ice machine that we're not going to have for much longer, but so nice with Pebble Ice that we got. But if you can't get Pebble Ice from your ice machine that you won't have much longer, make sure that you go to your local Sonic. If you're in South Texas, Bush's Chicken, and get yourself a sack of Pebble Ice and shake yourself up a proper tiki cocktail. So about 15 seconds of a whip shake to see it's not as aggressive, because essentially all we're trying to do is cool it down and just get it all blended together, because we really do want it to have a little bit of a bite, but there's a lot of juice in there too, so we don't necessarily have to over dilute it, or dilute it as like we would a daiquiri. Because we're not over diluting, Dougie. Doug. Okay, so if you see, notice I put ice in first. So when I pour it over, the ice didn't. So if we pour it all in, then added ice, the ice would end up rising to right here. And then putting ice in, it will like just all pour out. If you watch the video on YouTube, you'll absolutely see that happen. So that's why we filled it up with ice before. We could have taken it and strained off the melt before we did that, but we didn't. So, boom. I don't have my pineapple fronds, so okay. Frick. Blowing it, Morgan. And I don't have my mint or anything. So this would have a beautiful sprig of mint, maybe one of these guys, and a pineapple frond just right there. But I blew it like I always do. And it wouldn't be a virtual happy hour if we didn't forget something. And I thought I had everything lined up, but I guess I was wrong. I haven't been drinking all day, as y'all might be suspecting. I've only had that one daiquiri.
That's the problem. It's not too much alcohol, it's lack of.
So a metal straw, big one. Let's put it in there. Okay. That's so good. So typically we'd have nutmeg over the top, some mint, pineapple frond, be like really gorgeous, you know, but look how pretty that is. That Campari really shines through. Obviously I put way too much in there. It's pretty bitter, but that rum is really singing its song. And of course the pineapple is so like, there's so much pH in the pineapple. Pineapple is actually, they consider the citrus of the Pacific. And it is like just, pineapple is so, if you know pineapple, you know it's like so hard to describe, but just adding it to anything. Pineapple is one of my favorite things. We actually did a virtual happy hour 2 weeks ago about pineapple to celebrate not only pineapple, but Tom, aka Tommy Bahami's last virtual happy hour and last day with us before he went back to college. And Tomothy, aka Tomothy. So this is all tied together. It's actually really great with that orgeat. That Demerara sugar would just give it more of a balance in the sense of nuttiness, because there's more terroir to it. So, but to you, Tom, thank you so much for being a great sport. He texted me at the beginning of the summer, asked if he could work here, and he's like, I already read Death and Company. I'm like, how? What? Like, who just already reads Death and Company? I'm like, okay, sure. And he was just so about it. Tom, thank you so much for everything, man. I miss you. I hope you're doing well in college. I kind of tried to bait him in to come into our last virtual happy hour for a while, and he said he had a class at 5 o'clock. So you better be doing your homework and watching your virtual classroom and not be worrying about us over here at the Hardwood or whatever. But if you're watching, hey, Tom, miss you, buddy. I'm proud of you. So with that said, going to get the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Morgan, a.k.a. Morgan the Grouch, from Gulf Breeze Winery, to come and celebrate with us his favorite starter drink, maybe one of his favorite drinks at the Hardwood. And I'm going to let him tell you all about it. Here he comes. If there's no towboat there, just use the HB brand that's over there. Just say you would use towboat.
All right, so I'm going to be making a whiskey freezer. I think this was the first drink I had here, and it's just always been a favorite of mine. Get my ingredients here. I wasn't looking. Where the hell did you
yeah, I kind of. It's not your typical setup like it's been, obviously. So if you look in there, the juice that says lime is lime.
For a change.
And everything else, I believe, is kind of a guessing game. Just give it a good smell.
Yes. Alrighty. Where are the shakers? Yo, where'd you throw the shakers?
The shakers are in the wash tub underneath on your right.
Good Lord, I'm out of it.
No. Yes.
It's been a minute. I'm sorry.
Do not forget that those Collins glasses are shorter than the ones that you're used to. Of course you can.
All right. is the upside. A whiskey freezer is a super simple drink. It's basically a Collins variation. You just swap lemon juice for lime juice and whiskey for gin and go to town.
Very true.
Fun fact, when I was doing my prohibition research, whiskey, gin, and rum were the only three liquors named in the newspapers.
Will you come say that in the mic? Chelsea just said a really cool fun fact.
When I was doing research on Prohibition-era politics in Philadelphia, I read a lot of newspapers on the microfiche, and whiskey, rum, and gin were the only three that were actually named as specific types of liquor in the newspaper then.
Very cool. Oh, Morgan, I'm sorry. What did you just add, buddy?
Simple syrup, 3/4 of an ounce.
Cool. And our simple syrup, again, is 1-to-1 ratio refined sugar, and water. Just get it warm. And now he's putting in his freshly squeezed lime juice.
And 3/4 ounce
Three
lime
quarter-
juice.
3/4 of an ounce. Thank you for the 8 people watching right now. We truly appreciate 7 people watching right now. We truly appreciate it.
And I'm sorry, I'm that you're having to watch me up here.
Oh no, this is great, Morgan. And Morgan's in the old granddad bonded we spoke of before.
What the hell did you do to the cap on this thing?
I just made sure that it was going to be as hard as possible for you to pop it off.
You succeeded.
Thank you.
All right, and then I'm gonna do 2 ounces of whiskey. Make sure that thing is good and sealed for the next poor idiot who has to open it.
Well, no, it's going to be me or you. Good shape, yeah.
All right, and just it's been a while. Just dirty pour.
Yeah. Very much so. Nice. The small Collins glasses look really great.
Yeah, they do. I'm just hoping they're not as fragile as some of the Collins glasses.
Oh
I
no,
had to work with.
you're right. Me and Morgan ended up in the emergency room one night because of glasses. So I woke up in the lobby with the lady staring at me. Pack it with ice.
Oh yes. And if a doctor ever asks you, is it normal for you to wash dishes at 3 in the morning? He thinks you're on drugs. Just saying.
But that is so quick when they do the dishes in our house.
Hey everybody! I'm so happy for y'all watching. Please stick around. We're gonna probably go a little bit, definitely over an hour this time. We got so many drinks to make, so many people to thank, and of course, if you can't catch up with it now, please come back to our YouTube channel. Just search Doug Blank and watch it there.
I'm still not good at these.
Watch those fingers. I wonder if these buttons come through. Do you think is it? I don't even remember which one's the F word one.
Yeah, probably shouldn't play and find out.
I think this one's the cuss button. Yeah. So hey, Morgan, why don't you? It's a cuss button. I forgot.
And where's
Nah.
yeah. Yep, that's tasty.
Yeah. Congratulations, Morgan. You got yourself a whiskey freezer. Oh, that he garnished with a lemon twist.
I derped. Yeah.
Yeah, he typically would have a lime wedge or something on there, but at the same time, the lemon's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be nice, robust, and fresh, and everything that you want in between.
It's been a long day.
Oh yeah, dude, it has been a long day. All right, Morgan, you ready to get back over here?
Yeah, we need to get my ugly mug away from the camera.
All right. Hello. All right, so thank you so much to Morgan for making us the whiskey freezer, an amazing cocktail that became hugely popular. And actually, the person that found it was the person that helped me open this place, Sarah Bryant. And I wanted to take a moment to thank her for taking part of her life to help me open this up and get it to a good starting point. She moved back to Austin to start her career up there. Best of luck to her, and I want to say personally thank her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Bryant. Thank you so much. Billy and Sue Bryant, thank you so much for everything. A lot of this could not have happened without you, and I hope y'all are doing well and are safe, and I hope to see you very soon. Oh, you did find Topo.
Yep.
You want it? You want your Topo Chico?
Of course.
So I want to take a moment to thank everybody that helped me working at the Hardwood, and it's going to be Amber Means. She was my first hired bartender. I appreciate you so much. I hope that you see this, and I want to thank you so much for working your tail off for us when you did, and I hope that you, Lily, and Ian are doing very well, and I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy. And I also want to thank Aaron Pollock. Thank you so much for everything you did for me and all the times that you came to pick up shifts and help me get rock and rolling. You and I had an amazing time running the Mardi Gras lunch, and that was your idea, and I am so grateful for you inspiring me to do that. I remember Morgan coming in, having a good old time. You came in that day, right? And I put you right to work?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't put you to work. I asked you to work.
It's like I walked in, and before I got a drink, I think I was back in the washing classes.
Yeah. And we just spent a moment with Tom. I really want to thank Clover Yost. Thank you so much. I know it was short-lived, but thank you so much for all your time and effort that you gave to me. You were so passionate, and I assure you there will be something for you in the future. And if it's not with me, you're going to do amazing things. Keep on busting your butt. Keep on learning. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. And always come visit me in Austin whenever you can. I also want to say a big thank you to Josh Irvin. I think everybody might know who he is. He works up at the HEB. He is one of the sweetest persons I've ever met in my life. He is so inspirational, and he has a bright future ahead of him too, and I'm so grateful that you have been a part of my life, and thank you so much. I want to also thank my mother. My mother was washing dishes in the back through the nitty-gritty of it all. She would just show up at 9 o'clock. When she'd be on the couch, I'd just be desperate for somebody to wash dishes because I was so busy. My mom would just show up. My niece, Amesley, she did her hard work here, and I appreciate her so much. My nephew, Kel, he'd been juicing fruit since he was freaking 10 years old because of me, and I appreciate you so much, Kel. I love you. I look forward to us hanging out, and I love you too, Amesley. I look forward so much to us hanging out tomorrow, playing video games, maybe making some cool videos and stuff like that, and just doing our dang thing tomorrow. And I know I'm missing some others. Alexa, thank you so much. It was short-lived, but thank you so much. When we come back up and running, whenever the time may be, you are one of the first people on the list that I'm going to call. And congratulations to you and John for Lucasey, apparently, is the name of your little girl. And I am so excited that you are about to be a mother. And best wishes and best of luck. Godspeed. And I'll talk to you soon, I am sure. Who else falls into this list? I'm trying to think of people that have worked here. David, my brother. David, thank you so much for everything you've done for me and all your sacrifices. It really means so much to me. You would just drop everything you're doing, get somebody to watch the kids. And Melissa, thank you so much for allowing him to be a part of this. Rylan, Case, my niece and nephew, thank you so much for letting your dad come hang out with me for a few days and bust his butt, try to make a few bucks, keep this place running while I was off doing my other things. Thank you so much. And I guess I want to be right and say hello to Lola. Lola, thank you so much for being one of my biggest inspirations, and my big sister Diana, who supplied us with our microphone and the stand that this is on right now to get all these virtual happy hours up and running. Yes, Diana, I still have your things, and I am so sorry. I know that's a Doug thing to do, is kind of forget to give things back, but I got to admit, kind of been holding on to them. So, and of course, one of my biggest thank yous is to you, Morgan. Thank you so much for all your sacrifices for me. I love you, man. I love you dearly.
Hey, man, I love it, and I love working here with you and just being a part of this.
To the future, my man.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, let's get this going. Doing better. I thought I'd be crying like my eyes out at least 3 times by now.
There's still a chance. I mean, you know.
There's still a
We're
chance.
still recording.
I know. The sign-off's going to be freaking miserable. I already know it. People are like, oh, God. My family's probably watching this. Oh, God. Doug's had 2 drinks already, and they're his drinks. He's going to have 2 or 3 more. Because, I mean, the theme is let's get drunk. No driving. No driving.
Yeah, PSA, don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
That's bad. Just bad.
So, I was thinking about the next drink. We just did the whiskey freezer. I was going to do a Tom Collins. For me, I guess.
Never a bad idea.
Unfortunately, Chelsea's tapped out.
Yeah. Well, for the youngins or the non-drinkers, they're a good mocktail recipe.
Let's make a mocktail recipe for you. Or how about we do like a really clean, crisp, easy, spiritless, not spiritless. Let's just say saying virgin, a mocktail of a version of a Tom Collins. Can I be easy for people to make at home? What do you say? Be like clean, crisp, almost like a Sprite. Let's make a Sprite. I'm in too.
They have a soda stream at home. Anything that you can make that I can do at home.
So we're gonna do an attempt on a Sprite. Oh, dude, you know what we should make before this is all done? We should make a green goddess, dude.
Yes. I haven't had one of those in way too long.
Is it salad dressing?
What?
Wait, what's the drink that we love? The green goddess?
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, there is a dressing called Green Goddess. I don't know much about it though.
It's got vegetables in it, but it's a yogurt base, so I can't have it.
Of course.
It's some hippie nonsense, but I'm allergic to it.
Fair enough. So, let's go ahead and do 3/4 ounces of our house-made simple syrup. Okay, for a Sprite, I say should we do that's definitely lime. Let's do a 1/2 ounce of lime and a 1/2 ounce of lemon. It's weird when you smell lime and lemon away from each other. They're vastly different. And you can actually tell the pH levels, obviously the sugar contents. There's so much going on. The color.
They both call it limon in Spanish, though.
Really? This is not cool. I mean, I guess it's cool. I mean, language is cool. Okay. I feel like it needs one more thing. Nah, let's just do that. See what happens. All right, let's whip shake this. Get a highball glass. All right. Yeah, let's say that'd be good. So, do that. Gonna top it off with some more pebble ice. Beautiful. And then some sparkling water. Topo Chico. Man, that is a house-made Sprite if I've ever seen one. Woo! That's freaking good. Yeah, so that is essentially the best house-made Sprite I've ever made. Give it a little bit of a swath. Look at that. Make your own Sprites at home. How easy is that? So if you put gin in that, so all those ingredients, just add 2 ounces of gin to that, you would have yourself a very solid Tom Collins. Matter of fact, I am going to make myself a Tom Collins because I haven't had Tom Collins so long. It's one of my favorite drinks ever. So I'm going to have one, and I'm going to slam one because I have crippling depression, and I am pretty bummed out. Don't worry, I'm crying behind this smile. I'm just kidding. I know, but I'm not. That's cry. That is true. But what can you do?
So we got percentages on joking versus not joking on that one.
What?
What's are we talking 50-50?
I'd say 60-40.
60-40. Okay.
You take your pick on which one's the sad side.
Depends on the day.
Indeed. There's probably somebody out there watching this be like, you and me both, sister. Fair enough. So excuse me while I wash these dishes. It's weird. I haven't had a bar shift here in weeks. Months. Years.
Yeah, dude, like time is meaningless this year.
It's almost over. It's almost fall.
I have no idea what day of the week it is half the time anymore. Just like
I found out it was a Friday in the middle of a conversation about how I thought it was Thursday today.
Fair enough. So we're gonna do 3/4 ounces of simple syrup again. We're making a Tom Collins, just so you know. And then we're gonna do freshly squeezed lemon juice, 3/4 ounces. And then for this one, actually going to use Bobby's Genever. Before there's gin, there's Genever, and this is it. And it's just going to be a juniper spirit. It's going to be kind of on the, it's like a little bit on the sweeter side. It just has a lot of, there's a lot of juniper going on and some pine and just really great botanicals going like hidden in there as well. It all opens up. That's why I really like using gin for Tom Collins, because it opens up like really well. And apparently this is like the whole story is like Genever was like back in the old days, they like these freaking huge dudes like in battle before they went into berserk mode. They saw them drinking this like weird elixir, and the next thing you know, like, oh, we're gonna kill everyone. And it ended up being Genever, and then the Brits turned it into gin. I just heard that. I don't know if that's true at all.
it's a cool story, so we're sticking with it.
Indeedly do. All right, so got everything in there. Going to add shake ice. All right. Shake like nobody's watching. About 10 seconds, maybe 6. When it gets like too cold to hold in your hand, that's pretty much good enough. It's pretty cold. Ah, frick. Well, this glass is a little too short. I should have cut down the spec on it. You know what I'll do? I'll top it off with some pebble ice. Why not? A little bit of topo. There's no room for it, but just as an ingredient, you want to top it off with that. And why don't we use one of our metal straws? So the garnish at the Hardwood, it is a swath of lemon, and then we express it like everything, and then we would wrap it up. We would put a Texas flag toothpick through it, and then put a Luxardo cherry onto it and put it in there. But don't have any of those right now, so Tom Collins. Let's give it a try. Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Crisp, refreshing, bright botanical. Has a bitterness going on, definitely from the Genever and from the lemon, for sure. And of course, that sugar, just keeping it all coming around. And that nice effervescence of the sparkle. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this, just to brighten it up, get in your sinus cavities, make you wonder if your brain's on fire. It's pretty good. For sure. So, I mean, we're pretty much so the old-fashioned daiquiri, of course. Whiskey freezer, Tom Collins. Tom Collins whiskey freezer, like Morgan mentioned, are quite similar. What else is on there? The Bramble is actually one of our most notable cocktails, and I was gonna make a Bramble for today, but I just kind of forgot. Essentially, it's blackberries, gin, lemon, simple syrup, but it was gorgeous. If you look at our Instagram for the Hardwood, if you go to the earlier post, you'll see one of our Brambles. It's beautiful. We had people like come in here like, you got the Bramble, you got the Bramble. I'm like, it's December. Like, there's no dewberries or blackberries anywhere. Oh! So, forgive me for being so from the hip and loose today. I just, just a lot going through the mind. I'm really excited. Again, I'm really excited to be back up Austin, be working and stuff, getting better for you, for me, for everybody around me, and just making sure that our whole entire future is bright and fruitful. And it's just was time. It's just so weird, all of this. And I know you all understand. I know you all appreciate it. And everybody's going through such hard times. And I hope that everybody comes out on top. And that's really all you can really say about it, I guess. There's everybody's. It's the weirdest thing because everybody is hurting in different ways, but all the same feeling, I guess. It's like everybody is just so taxed by this, and it seems so unfair. It seems so unregulated. It just seems like there's something that should be done. But when you sit down at the end of the night, it's just like we're all in this together, and it'll blow over just like most bad things. So
might pass like a kidney stone, but it'll pass.
You heard it from Morgan, folks. Might pass like a kidney stone, but it will pass. Don't know why I repeated you, but I just felt like I should have. So, Wiley, I saw you commenting, dude. I'll be up there. You're definitely one of the first people I want to hang out with, go get a drink with. And then, it's just so crazy that in 20 weeks, we got this whole entire setup finally working. And so you better believe that we're going to keep this going. Again, it might be based out of Austin. We'll do some occasionals out of here. Morgan is, I'm going to freaking, what's that called when you're like, guilt trip. I'm going to guilt trip him to come to see me in Austin to help me do these and stuff like that. I'm going to twist his arm. I'm going to just make sure that he's up there helping me. And then, of course, days off, I'm going to be down here. You're going to be seeing me like, I thought you moved to Austin. I'm like, yeah, I did, but I'm just hanging out with you guys for a Monday because I have stuff to take care of. And then, but please, still support the channel. Hard times. If you can help us out, please Venmo us at Doug Blank. Would truly appreciate it. It's going to the virtual happy hour, and this time around, it actually might go more into helping me move. So I will, just to be full disclosure with you guys, I need your help. I need your help just getting back on my feet, and thank you for everything. And everybody has been, Cody Knox, one of our most faithful, Cody and Wiley, Tim Dodge, one of my most faithful Tim Dodge, one of the most faithful patrons, and somebody that we've celebrated, the Hemingway of DeWitt County, the Ernest Hemingway of the Hardwood, the man, the myth, the legend, Tim Dodge. I'm going to miss you so much, and I hope I see you before I go, but I hope that I see you even more so now because I know you love to travel. You're an amazing photographer. You get amazing opportunities all over the place, and I hope that your opportunities, when they come around the Austin area, I have the time to come visit you or vice versa. So, Tim, thank you for everything. You're one of the best. You're like, the Barstools will always miss you at the Hardwood. And again, one day, maybe the Barstool will pull up to the bar top to where you can belly up and have another daiquiri. I'll never forget that, dude. Tim Dodge came into... Oh, Cody Knox, thank you so much for everything, man. You've always been so faithful to us. And Wiley, you too. And Heather Stafford, you're wonderful. I saw you on the thread earlier. Thank you guys for being so faithful and regulatory with us, and I truly appreciate it. But Tim Dodge, I'll never forget. He came through those doors, and he's just and we were pretty busy that night. Nothing too extreme. Wasn't the busiest night ever. But I just remember he walked up and he had this look on his face. I was standing right here. And I was kind of leaning like this, and I couldn't figure it out. I think this guy's gonna be cool. Can't tell yet. He has a baseball cap on, and he's just like looking around, just looking. He's like, all right. And he finally sits down. And he goes, I'm like, what are you having? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you normally drink? He's like, coconut rum and, oh gosh, what else? Coconut rum and pineapple, I believe is what he said. Something along those lines. And I'm like, well, I'm like, have you ever tried a daiquiri? He's like, a daiquiri? Like, yeah, man. It's like a proper daiquiri. Have you ever had a proper daiquiri? He's like, I can't say that I have. I go, it's one of Ernest Hemingway's favorite drinks. He just looks at me. He just, all right, I'll have a daiquiri. And I made him a daiquiri. And I put it right in front of him, and he took his first sip, and I gave it to him in the classic Hardwood glass, and which we're going to celebrate in a little bit. And he just opened up. He's just like, like you just see his whole, what I was opened this place for, the fireworks just popping off. And he's like, oh yeah, it all makes sense. Everything's coming to life. This is the best drink I've ever had. And this is what I want to have. This is not only a drink, this is an experience. Not only is this an experience, it's a story. Not only is it a story, it is just undescribable. And it all happened with me and Tim Dodge. And Tim Dodge became, from that moment on, well, not only one of my favorite people, but not one of my favorite regulars, but one of my favorite persons. And Tim, thank you so much for everything. And I hope your parents are doing well, and I hope you're doing well. And I hope I see you soon. So enough about Tim Dodge. Can't talk about him for the rest of this happy hour. James and Alma, thank you so much for everything. Y'all are amazing. Again, we'll be back. We'll be up and running. James, you and I talked on the phone for a hot minute the other day, so no reason to dive too deep into that, but thank you so much for everything. Justin Parker, thank you so much for being such a freaking killer at the happy hour and supporting me and showing me what's up, getting me on the your barbecue team to get the second best margarita in Cuero. That's all to you, man. Thank you so much. And James, thanks for tagging along and becoming on your own lonesome just to spend some time with me in your afternoon, having an old-fashioned or two. Thank you so much. So, and from there, God, there's so many people. Emily Montgomery and Connor, thank y'all so much for everything. I love y'all so much, and I'm going to miss y'all. And I assure you that we'll see even more of each other now that I have a little bit of free time, because it was such a bummer that I was always working and always so busy here that we didn't get to spend too much time together. But who knows? Maybe this will free up some time, and then we can talk and reinvent our relationship. But thank you for everything. I'm going to miss y'all so much, so much. And then, man, it's all coming back to me now. I'm trying to, that's what I was saying in that video I made. It's like, it's impossible to thank you all. And then I'm going to have to say thanks again to, I'm seeing Gilbert Clark, man. Thank you so much for everything you've done. And thanks for being such a huge support and coming and showing me your love. Haley, Brandon, Jack, thank y'all so much. Jackie, thank y'all so much for everything. Y'all are wonderful. And I gonna miss y'all so much. The Franklins, thank you so much for just being such big supporters, and the Raths, Chris Rath, I appreciate y'all. It's wonderful that y'all would come in and show me so much love as much as y'all did. I just I'm sorry if I'm forgetting names, just trying to thank everybody. And again, this is not the end. It's just I have to move on. There's nothing coming in. I have to create my future. I have to keep learning. I have to keep on growing as a person and growing as a bartender and growing as a positive influence, not only for my community, but for this planet. So I have to keep moving forward. So it's just so bittersweet. And then, man, don't worry, I haven't forgot about Daryl.
Oh, I'm sure he would have to let you hear all about it if you did.
No. What do I want next? What are we doing next? What do you want next?
Surprise me, man.
That's where the best drinks come from.
You got it. Surprise, surprise, buddy. Man, let's put this bad boy on for one more time. Again, we're gonna be doing filming and stuff out of here, so it's not the end. It's not the end of the Hardwood in that sense. And who knows? Maybe one of you billionaires out there would want to that does amazing work with our local community would want to help out with a small business one of these days. Who knows? And also, I want to talk to you too because you're a fan of Trader Vic, and I love that. So, Selena and Jay Condi, thank y'all. Selena Milstead, thank y'all so much for everything. The Holcombs, thank y'all so much. I cannot believe I thought that. Thank y'all at the top of the list. I apologize, but thank y'all for everything. What about 3 Mai Tais?
Mai Tais are good.
All right, so Mai Tai, crown jewel of the Tiki realm, created by Victor Bergeron, better known as Trader Vic in 1944. This is a lot of love for this cocktail, but a lot of misconstrued theory, if you will. A lot of people think that it was created in Hawaii, but like I said, it was created by Victor Bergeron, better known as Trader Vic, 1944, in Oakland, California. So, essentially, it's a daiquiri variation. And we're going to use our orgeat. So I talked about it earlier. Orgeat is going to be an almond milk syrup, and so essentially it's almond milk with some sugar in it. But we make our almond milk in house. Put a touch of rose water in there, and the reason we put the rose water in there is just because nuts can get funky, and so you need that rose water to tame them down a bit. I don't even think I put rose water in this one because we wanted those funky nuts.
You're looking at me like I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to give you the satisfaction.
I don't want the satisfaction, Morgan. So we're making 3, but I'm just going to build this like it is 1, so I'm not confusing myself with the 225 stuff. So that's going to be 3/4 ounces lime juice. 1, 2, 3. And then from here, we're going to use our Mai Tai mix. There's no orange in here. So you use an orange liqueur. We have dry curacao next door, but at the Hardwood, just because when you're bartending, the rule is try to use the ingredients that it calls for. But if you can't, use what you can get. And something we can get in the Cuero area is Cointreau, which is an orange liqueur made with bitter orange pills out of France. And so we're only just using a tad of this, and we're going to use 1/4 ounce for each one. So 0.75 for 3. And so this Mai Tai blend is going to be Panama Pacific. It's going to have a little bit of Europon in there. It's also going to have our beloved Paranubes. Give it some earthiness. The original called for a 17-year-old J and Ray Jamaican rum, which is like a nice, funky, dundered forward rum. I would imagine the last one that was there, the last barrel that there was owned by a bunch of Irish guys. They sold the last Mai Tai out of that barrel for like thousands of dollars, and essentially they took that money and moved to America and opened up the famous Dead Rabbits in New York. So we're going to do ounce and a little shy of an ounce and a half for each one. But yeah, blend your rums, have fun with your rums. There's nothing to say. Like in South Texas, there was like this whole thing where people thought that mixing liquors meant that you're making a Four Horsemen or a Long Island iced tea. That's not the case. Blending rums, especially, you're just like developing terroir and texture and flavors that you wouldn't find in this one single bottle. So I always recommend playing with your liquors, trying your best. I mean, if you're trying to get hammered, yeah, and take them as shots, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. But if you're trying to make a composed cocktail and you're really playing with your flavors and your components, definitely recommend it. All right, so we're going to use some shake ice just to agitate. Get that locked up. Get our Mai Tai glasses out. If you've been to the Hardwood, you're familiar with our Mai Tai glasses. The Hardwood Mai Tai glasses. I'm going to miss giving these guys to you every happy hour, that's for damn sure. Our Mai Tai started off at $12, and I finally got them down to 10, so at our happy hour, they're $8. But all our drinks are doubles or more. Like the Mai Tai, the one I'm making is quite stout. Nice whip shake, nice and frothy, super funky, bright, forward. So get these all evened out. Yeah, guys, this was a little bit, this is such a bittersweet episode. That's why it's running a little bit longer than usual, because I just don't want to let you go. Just top these off with some crushed ice, pebble ice if you have it. Also, if you watch our older episodes, you probably see me and Morgan beating ice up with a weird bag, and that's called a Lewis bag, Lews. So if you don't have crushed ice, if you get like a Lewis bag, it'll do the trick. You just bang up some ice in it, and if you can't do that, just get like a nice clean towel, wrap it up, and just get a hammer and just bang it away, and you got some crushed ice. Easy as that. So sometimes you'll see, so we're going to do the traditional garnish that Trader Vic came up with, and they celebrate this at Smuggler's Cove in San Francisco, who has an amazing book, Smuggler's Cove, Martin Kate and Rebecca Kate. So we're going to follow the traditional garnish, get a whole lime musk on there, and the reason they use this back in the old days is to let their guests know we use real limes. So I guess that's like something. Frick! Talk, Morgan! What?
Talk about how much you love rum. Entertain the crowds. Dance like you dance.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on, but as you can see, Doug just ran off. And here he comes running back. I'm sure.
it.
Oh, so you do have mint?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So anyways, this is like pretty much lets you know that, and then it also represents. So when I do mint for garnish, I don't like slapping it in my hand because I want it to be on the guest. I don't want it to be in the bartender's hand. I want it to be in the guest's hand. So I express it on the glasses, so when the guest picks it up, it's on their hands, and also it's not over abusing the mint to where it becomes vegetal. Just take yourself a nice sprig. You want to make a really beautiful, healthy bouquet. Something like that. Just put it right in here. By your swizzle stick. How pretty is that? All right. One more. Boom. All right, and then we're just going to add a little bit of English syrup. Fudge! That's mine. Just a little bit. I can't forget how that dasher on there. That's just a little bit of more aromatic and a little bit of depth. So if you look at it, they're supposed to represent an island. The mint's supposed to represent a palm tree. But I was saying earlier, especially old-fashioned, you want the garnish to face away from you guys so when they sip, it's not banging in the mouth. But we're serving this with straws. The mint's a huge part of this cocktail. You want that mint to be really bright and fresh and floral during their experience. So I choose to hide the straws with everything. So when they have to get in there, you probably have to move, and it just looks beautiful. That swizzle stick. You have to move that all around, but that mint's in your face. I've been to tiki bars where they take the straw and put it away from the garnish, which I get, but I like mine to be like this because it just gets you right in that bouquet. So that's just a personal preference, so you don't necessarily have to do that. There's no rules to this. I mean, there are some rules, but not too many. All right, and always our coasters are hand cut so we reuse our cardboard. Try to reuse as much as possible. Like even our Falernum, which is a liqueur that hails from the Caribbean, like it's ginger, lime, almond, and clove, and a little bit of rum. Like we reuse our lime husk and everything we use to make our almond milk. We use all that to make our Falernum. We try our best to reuse everything. So this is our Mai Tai, and the Mai Tai, the name comes from an expression called Mai Tai Ro'ai, which essentially means out of this world. And apparently the story is Trader Vic came up with this daiquiri variation, gave it to his Polynesian friend, and he proclaimed Mai Tai Ro'ai, and that's how he got the name Mai Tai. So this is like one of the most important cocktails out there. Because the reason is because this is the crown jewel of the tiki realm, and there's a lot of literate history about it. There was a huge argument that Don the Beachcomber actually created the Mai Tai, and that Trader Vic stole it from him. But the Mai Tai that they're referring to that Trader Vic created was actually the QB Cooler. And if you actually look at the recipe of the QB Cooler, it's nothing like this Mai Tai. So I give all praise to Trader Vic for this variation, for sure. And if we went into a liquor breakdown of everything that goes in here, it's wild. That is... There is a reason. The drink I honor the most, obviously, is a daiquiri. Most crucial in the realm of the bartending world. But my favorite drink is hands down the Mai Tai. I was introduced to it in my early 30s, so I'm actually quite new to the Mai Tai. But I was so enamored with it and so just fascinated by this Mai Tai. The whole thing of the Mai Tai and what it is and what I thought it was into what it really is, that it just changed my entire perspective. And the whole entire tiki realm is truly, truly important to this. And this is something I honor, and I wish I could have met Trader Vic, and I wish I could have met Don the Beachcomber, but I can't. So this is my cheers to them. Cheers to the drunken gods.
Cheers.
Man, that is stellar. Morgan, is there one more drink you want to make? Is there something on top of your head that you wanted to make?
Honestly, I got to make the whiskey freeze, so
Sure.
that was...
Well, I was going to make us one more daiquiri with our glasses and sign off.
I think it's time for that Paranubis daiquiri.
Yep. All right. Guys, I'm going to walk to one more daiquiri, and we're going to say our goodbyes. Or, auf Wiedersehen. We'll go into that. These glasses were gifted to me. I don't even know by who anymore. These glasses are so important to me. They're not only are they beautiful, not only are they fun to drink out of, but it kind of set the pace for what our glassware would become at the Hardwood. When we first opened, it was all about our vintage glassware, and it just got so expensive with all the vintage glassware breaking that we did start bringing in the Collins glasses, and it's a little bit more uniform. But these glasses are so important to me because this glass, if you look at all of our posts, if you hear about the daiquiri and we talk about the daiquiri, this is what makes our daiquiri. This is what it's just part of our aesthetic. It goes with the walls, goes with the paintings, goes with the culture, goes with my heart, goes with my soul, goes with everything I'm trying to give to my guests. Not only are they just having a daiquiri, they're having an experience. They're having a fully blown, loved, crafted drink, but not just a drink, an experience, and not just an experience, a part of my heart, a part of my soul. It's something that I just want them. Just want you to know how much I care, not only about the drinks, but I care about you. And a lot of people are like, "Man, Doug can be a jerk or whatever." It's like it's because I care, and I want to make sure that you understand that I am doing this not just for me, but to elevate this community and to give an experience. I have always said, Crow doesn't need a craft cocktail bar; it deserves one. So when I try, simply trying to do is show you a beautiful cocktail, and that's this whole I want a man's drink. It's like this is a man's drink. Ernest Hemingway is the man of all men, and he drank daiquiris. And you know what? And also the ones that are saying men should be men, stop being such a freaking strong dude. It's 2020. Be cool. Yeah. So have a daiquiri. I'm all pissed.
I say this as a whiskey level.
Indeed. Yeah, I've always said when people refer to drinks as, "Oh, it's pretty good, but it's pretty girly." It was too good. It's like, girly? What does that mean? That it tastes too good? You want it to not taste good? It's like, what does that mean? So, what do I know? I'm just a careered bartender. Somebody told me today that there's a big difference between employees and owners, and what I'm going through is the difference. And almost implying that me just making the next move is me giving up. And I was like, I hope y'all don't think that. I hope y'all realize that this is me surviving not only just for myself, but for the Hardwood. So, whatever. Getting kind of drunk. So, let's get this going. So, our daiquiri, we're going to do pair of Nubes daiquiris. Say our goodbyes. Or our Wiedersehens. I keep on saying goodbye. It's a bad habit. Morgan, what do you know about pair of Nubes?
It's a beautiful, funky rum from Mexico. If it was from Martinique, it would be an agricole, but it's not, so you can't call it that. And it's wonderful.
Nice.
All I know is when people try it out here, they either get drunk banana or an olive for some reason.
Indeed.
It's very funky, that's for sure.
Yeah, I like to say it's like a banana got hung over, or as a hungover banana. And so, like, thing about pair of Nubes we're going to try. This is a Sagua Dente de Caña. It's from Oaxaca. This is Master Distiller Jose Luis Carrera. The region is Rio Tuerto. And then it's also going to be six plate, copper still, yeast is wild. It's just all kinds of really cool stuff going on. Fermentation vat is pine. But this is like super freshly squeezed cane juice that goes straight to fermentation. Has all these wonderful esters we always refer to, all these funky tones going on. And it is just bold, it's brash, it is fruity, like ripened fruit. It's funky, it's strange. Like, what am I trying? How is this? How is this even a flavor that I enjoy? I always tell people, if you like blue cheese, you'll probably like pair of Nubes. But not in the sense that it tastes like blue cheese, but if you like extreme tones. Anyways, so let's do it. 3/4 ounces of our house simple syrup. Or actually, we're just gonna do we'll do half ounce. I want to celebrate this rum. All right, then our lime juice. I was gonna do some Palomas and stuff, or like Don's Mix and stuff. And I also want to say thank you so much to Brandy St. Louise for all their love. Appreciate you so much. And also to Mizu Shochu. Shochu is the national distillate of Japan, and these guys are rocking it out. It's just getting a little too short. We'll do some videos. I have some podcasts coming up on Spirits Guy with Doug Blank that are actually going to be focused on these guys, so please check that out. But the next few virtual happy hours, you'll be seeing them pop up for sure. It's 3/4 ounces. All right, Morgan. It's me and you, babe. Two ounces of pair of Nubes, so for two, obviously 4. And so,
Also worth noting that 2 ounces of pair of Nubes is a lot.
yeah, it's 114 proof. I mean, it's 108 proof, excuse me. 114 proof, the Smith & Cross. I mean, there's so many drinks that we met, like Cuba Libre, the freaking, what else? The Occam's Razor. I mean, there's so many drinks that, that's why we're going to do more of these virtual happy hours to let you guys see the rest of everything. I know we're going a little bit longer than usual, and I thank you all for sticking around and tuning in. So, we're going to make this quick. Shake like nobody's watching. Woo! It's cold. Oh, frick. So I didn't cut any of the garnish or whatever. We're running a little behind. But as you can see on my middle finger, this is how important that glass is. You can always look on my Instagram for the picture. Like, I have this actual glass and daiquiri tattooed on my finger. That's how important this is to me, the daiquiri especially. So, perfect. Wow. Morgan? Cheers, my man.
Cheers.
To the Hardwood.
To the Hardwood.
Yeah, that's like a total expression of like what we want here at the Hardwood. Strange, funky, weird. How the hell are we even here? One of the most rewarding experiences when people walked through the doors, just looked at the walls and looked at us behind the bar. Like, where am I? It's like, that's exactly the point. When you walk across that threshold, you're no longer in Crow, Texas, you're in the Hardwood. And I just hope that you, I just hope you guys realize how much I appreciate y'all. I love y'all so much. And I look forward to turning this page and what's going to happen. Unfortunately, with Governor Abbott shutting us down for the second time, which is understandable. I want everybody to be safe and everything. It stripped away a tremendous amount of opportunity for us. We had huge events coming up. We had a whole month of revenue stripped away from us. That is why we are closing the doors and locking hard. And it's not to do with anything else. You guys are believing in us. We're getting the traction. We're starting to plateau in our numbers. We're starting to really get the respect that we were looking for and deserved. Got people coming in, and we're finally offering them whiskey cokes. And they're like, we don't want whiskey cokes. We want what you do. We want what the Hardwood is known for. Finally got past that freaking wall. Finally, and all this happens. And so everybody that thinks that this is just simply just us shutting down, it's not. It's more than that. Remember your small businesses. They are crucial. They're important to the lifeblood and the freaking pulse of this nation. So please support them. No, just let's start a GoFundMe for them. No, you'll get it next time. Support your local businesses. No, you've been open for 3 years. I'm sorry I didn't make it in there. It's time for y'all to show up for your communities. So please take this and run with it. Support your local businesses, show them the love they deserve, and call your freaking representatives. Call your state senators. Call your governor hotlines. There's not very much help for guys like me out there. And it's not just me. There's thousands of us. There's millions of us on this planet that are struggling. And it is time for all of us to figure it out and move on and be safe while we're doing it. So anybody that has a problem wearing a mask, I say to you, please reconsider. Think about us as a family. Think about the ones you love and the ones that others love. Please. If we push through this and come out the other side with smiles on our faces and being safe and clean and happy, is that all we want? We can do this. So please. The Hardwood may be back. I hope. But until then, I must move on. I must protect my future, and I must protect my heart and the ones I love, and I must grow. I must continue my craft, and I'm going back to Austin, and I have a family up there that loves me and are embracing me and helping me get back on my feet. And you know who you are, and I thank you. And I look so forward to being by your side within the next few weeks. Please, please respect one another, love each other, and be there for each other. And when it comes to small businesses, I beg you, give them your support, give them your love. Spend your money at your local florist, at your local deli, at your local consignment shop before you consider Amazon or before you consider, I love H-E-B, but H-E-B is doing just fine. Your local wineries are struggling. They need your help. Your local distilleries are struggling. It's more than that. Everybody is hurting. We need to be in this together. No crying about, I can't believe I have to wear my mask. Stop it. It's more, I am more worried about my brother's keeper. We need to help each other out. We are humans, and we are in this together, and we need to start acting like it, including myself. So, with that said, thank you so much. I will miss y'all so much, and we will see each other again. I love you. Cherish your mothers. And of course, Daryl and Gulf Breeze Winery, I didn't forget about you. Go check them out as soon as you possibly can. They need your love. They do amazing products, and check them out. Morgan can tell you all about it. And Morgan, y'all have? What's places that are available right now?
Oh, Damn, I used to be able to rattle this off the top of my head, but we've been so blessed and fortunate to be able to grow. Your best bet is we have a complete list of our retailers on our website. So go to gulfbreezewinery.com, and there will be a where to buy tab, and go check it out. And we support local businesses. We're not in like HEB or Specs or Twin. We're supporting the mom and pop shops. You know, those are the people we want to work with, and we do our best to get with them and make all this happen.
To Amanda Wilburn, thank you so much for all your hard work that you've done for me. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I am so grateful you are in my life. And of course, I can't thank anybody more on the 20th virtual happy hour, and somebody that loves the Hardwood almost as much as I did, and he probably does. Maddie, a.k.a. Maddie Bubatti, a.k.a. Maddie Malort. I love you. I love you very much. Congratulations to your engagement. You are a great man, and you have a lot to offer, and I thank you for everything you have done for me, and I'm going to miss you, and I just love you, and I will see each other soon, my man. So, if I forgot your names, I'm so sorry. This is just, off the cuff. This is the 20th happy hour. It's so crazy that we're doing this, and then with everything going on and jumping, and just moving on, it's just so intense. It's so strange, and it's just like so nostalgic in a way. It's like I just gonna miss this. But the virtual happy hour will be there. Morgan, he's not going. Me and him, we were on the fast track becoming best friends the moment we met. So him and I, you're going to be seeing us on the behind the camera more so. We talked about some ideas, our road trip ideas for that's going to happen. But with that said, cherish your mothers, love your family, love each other. Please wear your mask. Let's get through this together. From Dougie at the Hardwood, historic downtown Cuero, Texas, I say to you, kampai, cheers, auf Wiedersehen. You don't need to give me a damn thing.
Well, I was going to say, when it does come time for you to move, let me know if any help you need.
Yeah. No shit. We're
You'll
gonna
have
party.
to hand me things, but I can carry shit. Up to 80 pounds.
Dude,
I'm not very good at picking
I'm
things.
really not taking much. You know what I'm taking? I'm taking the whole entire happy hour stuff. That's what I'm taking.
I don't think you need all of them. I'm serious.
No, you're just gonna
Bucks that you don't have to pay.
No, you're
Shut
just
up
gonna
and
hang
take
out
it.
with us.
Shut
Well,
up and
just-
take it.
Give him money to give me money for gas.
Or that. Well, I was just thinking, I didn't pay for my own move back. My parents,
You had
Bought
quite
it.
a few